Welcome back to the verdict zone, where we explore the small, frustrating acts that can push relationships to the very brink. Today, a husband pushes his wife too far quite literally, and she responds with a very public scene. The protagonist and her husband were enjoying a festive holiday date. She's on the shorter side and wearing heels. He's tall, strong, and they have completely opposite walking styles. He's the guy who aggressively weaves through crowds while she's the one trailing behind, apologizing to everyone he bumps into. Now, he's a great guy, not malicious at all, but he often fails to realize his own physical strength and how much space he takes up. Her husband has a habit of placing his hand on the small of her back and strongly guiding her while they walk. She's asked him, specifically, to stop doing this. Their strides just don't match, and his push often throws her off balance, which is especially tricky when she's in heels. He did it again as they walked near a shop, startling her and causing her to nearly trip. She hates this feeling of being navigated, as if she's being pushed in the correct direction. Her subtle attempts to pull away and her body language were, once again, completely ignored. Just 10 minutes later, they found themselves in a crowded bottleneck. Imagine a narrow hallway packed shoulder to shoulder with people, strollers, and elderly folks trying to get through. The pace was necessarily slow. There was simply nowhere to go. And that's when she felt it again, his hand on her back and that familiar nudge. If she had stepped forward as he urged, she would have fallen directly onto an elderly person in front of her. If she lost her balance in that tight space, the consequences could have been severe for everyone. At this critical, physically dangerous moment, her frustration finally boiled over. She stopped dead in her tracks, turned around, and in a voice loud enough for everyone to hear, demanded, "Can you stop pushing me forward? I have nowhere to go." He claims he was gentle this time, just a light touch. But for her, it wasn't about this one instance. It was the years of ignored requests, the constant physical jolts, and the feeling of being disregarded, all erupting in that one dramatic moment. He was deeply embarrassed, arguing that he was just touching his wife, and she shouldn't have shamed him like that in public. But for her, the public shaming was a justified, and maybe necessary, consequence of his persistent failure to respect her physical autonomy and her explicit requests. So, was the public embarrassment a necessary result of his ignored requests, or was her dramatic response an overreaction to a non-malicious act? The verdict zone is now open. Hit that subscribe button and click the link below to go to our forum. When do small boundary violations justify a huge public reaction? Share your story and cast your decisive verdict.